Hello, everyone. Oh, so good to see everyone here. So I know for me, it's early in the morning. It's 9 a.m. here in the UK, and I'd love to know where everyone is. I can see that there's Germany, there's a lot in the UK. So early people. Um, yeah, let me know where you're from, where you're calling in from today. It's always lovely to see that. And it's always lovely to connect in the chat. So we're in World Childless Week, right? We're all here for our healing and all here really to find connection and to be with others who understand. So please do, yes, use the chat. During the meditation part, I'm going to be speaking out affirmations. So, really, it's up to you whether you want to listen or whether you want to meditate along with me. There won't be any big periods of silence. So, I always find that doesn't necessarily work with these webinars, and I really like that connection feel. So, feel free to use chat along the way as well. But I will be going to any questions and things probably mostly at the end, unless there's anything that comes up before we start. Okay, so hopefully that's all understandable. So lovely to see so many of you here. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so let me do a quick introduction then for those who don't know me. So, my name is Bindi Shah, and I am I'm from the UK. I'm living in Brighton. So, I was born in London, living in Brighton or in Saltdean, which is just on the outskirts of Brighton, if anyone knows it. Um, I've been here for quite a while now. I've also lived in Germany. I've lived in Frankfurt and I have also lived in India. So this is really where my meditation part comes in. So I studied Ayurveda, yoga, and meditation, and all the little kind of herbs, astrology, lots of different kind of things that go along with Ayurveda in India. And I was there for a year in 2012. So Ayurveda is an ancient healing system of India, for those who don't know. And I actually went to India from Germany, where I was in a very corporate job in Frankfurt. So I was working in telecommunications. So not everyone knows this. I like to add little bits and pieces as well to my journey for those who know me a little bit better and maybe hear things that you don't know about me. So I used to work with telecommunications, which I know is going to make Steph laugh as well, because we were just talking about technology and technology gods for this session. So I used to work in telecommunications and I used to do things like lay wires and check routers and, fun things like that. So I went from that. I went from that kind of corporate world then to Ayurveda because I realized I'm a people person. I'm not a machine person. And I just love the interaction with everyone. So that's also why I would love for you to use the chat and really connect with each other here as well. Okay, right. So, what about my childless journey then? So, my childless journey, I always say, is layered. And what I mean by that is that there is not one reason for my childlessness. There are a few different reasons. And I really do feel that a lot of us in this community have very similar. Like perhaps you can pinpoint one reason for your childlessness which made you get to that point of, okay, I know that I'm going to be childless, not by choice. But along the way, there might have been different things. So, for example, one of my earlier reasons for childlessness, which I've only realized later on, is the non-committal relationships that you go into perhaps in your 20s, early 30s, and they don't go anywhere like you want them to, and perhaps you're with somebody for a while, but there's that non-committal element to it. So nothing really happens. So, for example, for me, you don't get married, you don't have children, that kind of thing. And also not finding a partner. That's a big thing as well. Around the 20s and around when you're always looking, and for me anyway, that kind of looking nature. So that was my first kind of thing around childlessness, but I didn't realize this really till later, till I looked back on my life and thought, okay, how has this all come about? Okay, I'm childless not by choice, but how, why? And when we have those questions for ourselves and we look back and reflect, I did meet someone, so I am married, and we met going into my mid-30s, not really realizing that my fertility at all, and obviously fertility was declining at that point, didn't happen. I was diagnosed with adenomyosis, and I will talk a little bit about that, especially in terms of the body, because today we are in the Childless Healthcare Day, and we are going to talk a little bit about the body when we bring the forgiveness into the body. Okay, so I was diagnosed with adenomyosis, which for those, again, who don't know, and I think more and more of us know, I was actually diagnosed in 2013, and to be honest, even my GP did not have a clue. Like, what is that? What have you been diagnosed with? So it's when you have endometrial growth within your uterine wall lining. So there's nothing really that can be done to remove it apart from a hysterectomy. So I was trying for a child at that point. So, that was not the cure. And actually, how much is it a cure? Have a hysterectomy. I mean, it's quite drastic, isn't it? It's a big thing. It's not like a cure, let's say. So, and also, are there any real cures for any kind of gynecological issues? I don't think so, personally. So from the adenomyosis, so the symptoms are things like heavy periods, which means that heavy and long periods, which means that you don't really have a cycle. And what you want when you're trying for a child is to know when you're ovulating, when you're having a cycle. You want things to go well, and they weren't. So I was having heavy, long periods. 2 weeks of the month was very normal for me. At the end of my adenomyosis journey, when I had my big flare-up, I was bleeding for 200 days. So that was just that. The 200th day was the day of my hysterectomy. So that was with the big flare-up. But before that, before the flare-up, it would be, I wouldn't know, what was going on, how many weeks I'd be bleeding, and then okay, but no cycle. So very, very difficult, very, very difficult to get pregnant. And the really interesting thing for me around my adenomyosis journey was because, well, I don't know if it's because they don't or they didn't know enough about it, but there weren't any question marks of that it would be affecting my fertility. So, the consultants were like, oh, yes, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. And of course, it wasn't okay. I was put on a very strong progesterone to try and balance out the hormones and my periods, my menstrual cycle. And that then caused me quite bad emotional issues and mental health issues. So it was really from that point that I knew, okay, IVF is not necessarily an option for me because of the hormone treatment and because of the way I react to it emotionally. And I know quite a few people do have that as well. So, your anxiety increases, your moods increase. It was, I wasn't in a very good place at all to pursue any fertility treatments. So my husband and I decided to go down the adoption route, and that, it didn't work for us. We had all the sessions, and the last session, or I think it was the one before the last session, They said they weren't going to take us forward. And it was like everything just, my life just crumbling down, which I know a lot of you do. Well, I think we all experience when we realize, okay, that's it. We're going to be childless, and then just world kind of crumbling. Um, that was like a huge, huge disappointment and so much anger, so much anger. And if anyone wants to read anything more about this, I did write about it last year actually in World Childless Week, in the Childless People of Color Day. So you can definitely find it. I think it was, I don't know, it was probably adoption was probably in the title. So I'm pretty sure you'll find it there. And yeah, and then I came to the realization that, okay, I'm going to have a life without children. And then, of course, joining the community, finding others. I started out with Gateway Women, which I know a lot of you here possibly did as well. And then from there, realized what I was experiencing. So the childless grief aspect of it, because also I really think we come into it, first of all, with not knowing what it is, not knowing like, why are we feeling this way? What's going on with us? Yes, hooray for Gateway. Yes, definitely. And just feeling that what are we going through? And then realizing, okay, it's the grief aspect. And when you come to that realization, then what next, right? The healing aspect and the moving through aspect and places like this. I mean, I'm forever grateful for World Childless Week, of course. And my first meditation classes. So we're going to meditate today for sure. And what I do also within the Childless Not by Choice community is I offer meditation classes. So that's what I do. I'm a meditation guide and I'm also a writer. I do a lot of my own writing, but I also do writing workshops as well. And my first meditation class for Childless Not by Choice was during World Childless Week in 2020 when Steph asked, is this something that you can do? And I thought about it for a few minutes and I was like, yes, of course, I can do this. And then from there, as they say, the rest is history. We have a beautiful meditation community and wonderful classes. So you can find all my information online. So okay, right. Let's talk about today then and these affirmations. And first of all, the body. So I know there's been some talk in the chat with other people also with adenomyosis and different kinds of things to do with the body. Yes, endometriosis, of course, as well. Yeah. And, there's a lot. So does anyone else want to share? Is there anything else in the body? So I'm thinking about, yes, the gynecological parts, but also even general health things. Our journeys into childlessness are linked so much to our bodies, to our physical health, to how we are feeling. So how we are feeling can also, of course, be emotional health, but definitely with that physical wellness. And when that physical wellness isn't there, that impacts. I mean, that impacts a lot, as you all know, but it also impacts that journey into childlessness, or into having a child, I should say. And also then that impacts into the healing journey afterwards as well. So what I mean by that is when you're not fully feeling healthy, and by fully, I mean, I have different things. I know I have some of my students in the chat here, and I talk a lot about health because I still have a lot of, different things going on as well with my health. One of them is my breathing, and, there's different things there going on. So it also impacts that healing journey moving forward within your childlessness and coming, moving forwards, seeing lightness and all of that. So it's so so part of our journeys, the childlessness and the healing journey. It's really, really part of that. And what I thought with this meditation, so we're going to do forgiveness affirmations because with our bodies, when there is so much going on with the bodies, so much going on with the bodies in relation to all of this, the childless journey aspect of our lives, we can feel really disappointed. Like, why is my body like this? Why has this gone on? Why can't I be healthy? Why do I get all the things? Like, I know with my own health, when another thing comes, I'm like, oh, it's another thing now. Like, why can I not stop? Why can't I get to maybe a place where I can be 80% in health? Or, why can I not get to that kind of place? And so that disappointment in the body, that anger, where are you all feeling the anger now in your body? Because I'm pretty sure there is something there. And I know some of you have worked on this as well. So it might be that you're looking back and you're thinking, oh, yes, I was holding anger there. I was holding anger there in my, in my sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is where your, the lower abdomen, where your area of uterus would be or would not be. So depending on not whether you have a uterus or not. So that, that area of you, where are you holding that anger? Where are you holding the frustration, the hurt, the pain, all of those things that you're holding in your body? And if we take a little kind of step back and think of that and think of, think of our wonderful, beautiful bodies and that they are holding on to that pain somewhere. And if we can take a step back from that kind of reality of it and think more of the caring part of it, that's when we can start bringing in that forgiveness for the body, that caring, that kindness, not blaming the body anymore, that kind of thing. So let me have a quick look in chat. So severe headaches, chronic fatigue, yes. And it is another layer. So sometimes, some of the health conditions might not necessarily be completely related to the childlessness, but then it is another layer. And especially when those layers come in, when you're in that healing aspect. So when you're thinking, oh, look, I've realized I'm childless. I found World Childless Week. I found all of these other different groups that there are, and I'm going into my healing journey. And then you become ill, then it's another layer on top of everything. So someone has said hypermobile and all the knocks-on effects from that, arthritis, joint problems, visual vertigo. Oh my goodness. I'm not laughing. I've had vertigo recently. That's why I'm just like, oh, yes, I completely feel you. The hysterectomies, yeah. And menopause, of course, perimenopause, menopause, all of those, other aging things, all of those different things going on as well, of course. Yes. Yes, someone's done some sacral chakra work. Yes, definitely, definitely recommend doing things. We do quite a bit in the classes as well with that. Okay. So I can come to some of that later as well. And yeah, you can continue writing in and I can go through. So let's talk. So I want to talk first of all about these affirmations. And I think, it's completely up to you whether you're going to listen take in, or you're going to close your eyes and take in and maybe repeat them after me. You are going to get the affirmations after this as well. So, don't worry about having to write things down or anything like that. The things that you might want to write down is maybe how you feel about them and if other things come in around it. So, most of the affirmations are, oh, well, I'm not going to say, sorry, backtrack. Some of the affirmations are things like letting go and release. So I release the disappointment I feel about my body. I let go of the anger around my health. So the emotional letting go. Okay, so we'll do some of that, the letting go, and then we'll do the bringing in of forgiveness. So things like I forgive myself. I want to talk about a couple of these affirmations because they are designed to be a little bit more reflective and to make you think a little bit. So when I think about meditation, yes, meditation is calming. Yes, we often meditate on peace and gentleness and all the lovely calming things which are so good for your nervous system and for you to relax, which you need to in your healing journey. But also, I like to, when I move inwards myself and do my own meditations, and when I bring meditations out, I also like you to be reflective. When you meditate, you're going into yourself, and there is so much wisdom and insights there. So using it for your healing journey, using it to help you. So that's why I've got a few affirmations which are a little bit more kind of reflective ones. And I want to talk about that before we do them or before, we use them. So one is I forgive myself for the way I treated my body, for the choices I made. So when you think of that one, I forgive myself for the way I treated my body, for the choices I made. There's no self-blame there. There's no self-judgment. It's more of a reflection on, look, things went on in the past, right? Things went on in the past, and I did the best that I knew at that time. So now when we look back in hindsight and we've got all the experience, we're growing our awareness, so we're looking at things more from an aware point of view as well. Of course, we would make different decisions, right? We're all growing. But that forgiveness element is very much also linked to not judging yourself and not blaming yourself for things that you did in the past when you weren't this person that you are now. Okay, you're always growing. So just a little bit of a thing around that one. And the other one I really wanted to say as well, because it's also a reflective, it's more of a growth one, is I am able to like parts of my body. The parts I like are, and what parts do you like? Now, this might be a little bit tricky, especially if there's a lot around the health, if there's a lot around the body, if there's a lot that you are currently moving through, and you're thinking, I don't really like anything about my body. And actually, you're in the right place here in this session, because we are going to do a lot of forgiveness around that. Like, I forgive my body, I forgive me. So really that getting to a better place with thinking about the body. But when I say that, so I'm able to like parts of my body, I want you to really think small. What do you like? Do you like your eyes? Do you like the way you smile? Do you like your fingertips? Just think really small. Don't think in big terms of things that you really need to like. And the other parts, so the other parts of your body which you don't like, I call them the parts of the body which are healing. So the next affirmation I will say after that will be the other parts of my body are healing. I heal and then I invite you to put in what you are healing. Okay? Are you healing your lungs, your heart, your head, your legs? What are you healing? Okay, I think that's everything I want to say about the affirmations. Affirmations are statements that you say, and you can repeat them after me. You can listen to them. You will get the list afterwards. We'll do a little bit of breathing to start with. We will do the ball of light and grounding at the end. And for those that don't know ball of light and grounding, hopefully you'll really enjoy it. So ball of light is a ball of light around you, really holding your energy in. Okay, are there any questions before we start? No, there's a lot in the chat, and I will come to that at the end. So, and if there are particular questions, you can either do in Q&A or in the chat. I'm usually pretty good with getting to things in the chat, but if there's something specific, then perhaps put it in Q&A. No questions to start with? Okay, let's start. Right, get comfortable, everyone. Perhaps a few breaths. So breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the nose or the mouth. And I know myself with my breath, sometimes my breath isn't very good, isn't very strong. So with that, no judgment on how you are breathing. Simply breathe. Sure. Close your eyes if you want to. And as you close your eyes, or as you move into a more meditative state, you're moving inwards. And this means that you're moving away from the external things going on in life. You're moving into yourself. You're moving into a place within yourself where you hold your wisdom, your insights. Relaxing into your thoughts. So we've spoken a lot. And there will be thoughts moving in your mind. Thoughts about your body, thoughts about your health, thoughts around being here together. You found a place where you belong. You found a place where you're not alone. Often in our childless journeys, we feel alone. We feel that we are the only ones experiencing this. And you're not alone. Acknowledging any thoughts that you want to. And as you acknowledge your thoughts, they can move. They can not be as hard or harsh anymore. They're acknowledged. They want to be heard, and they are heard. And they can move on. And then moving into your emotional self, how are you feeling? How are you feeling at this moment? And how have you been feeling? So perhaps how have you been feeling in the last few days? So we're in the middle now of World Childless Week, aren't we? How have you been feeling? What kind of emotions have come up? And acknowledge them, acknowledge them. And however you have been feeling, or however you are feeling at the moment, is valid. All of your emotions are valid. And that includes the difficult emotions to hold. So yes, that includes the anger, the hurt, the guilt, the regret, all of those emotions, they're valid. And when you can validate them for yourself, you can perhaps start to understand them. And also you can realize that yes, you have emotions. You're human. You are human and you have emotions. And you know what? It's okay. It really is okay. And with those emotions, especially when you can acknowledge them, that's when the processing can start. That's when the letting go can start. So not by ignoring them or blocking them, but by saying, yes, I do have these emotions. And I'm working on myself and I'm processing and I'm letting go. And some of this letting go is going to be through these affirmations. Listen to them, say them after me, whatever you want to do. This is your space. You're going inwards, your inward space. I release the disappointment I feel about my body. I let go of the anger around my health. I release the disappointment I feel about my body. I let go of the anger around my health. I let go of self-judgment. I let go of self-blame. I forgive myself for the way I treated my body, for the choices I made. I no longer blame myself. I forgive myself for the way I treated my body, for the choices I made. I no longer blame myself. I forgive me. I allow the frustration I feel towards my physical body to fade. I allow the frustration I feel towards my physical body to fade. There are parts of my body I do not like. I understand that. There are parts of my body which do not function as I would like. I understand. There are parts of my body I do not like. I understand. There are parts of my body which do not function as I would like. I understand. I sometimes feel betrayed by my body. I gently let that hurt fade. I sometimes feel betrayed by my body. I gently let that hurt fade. I forgive myself. I did the best I could at that time with all the information I had then. I did the best I could at that time with all the information I had then. With what my health and hormones were doing then. With what was happening in the external world then. I release the shame and guilt I feel. I release the shame and guilt I feel. The past is over. I let myself live now. I am human. My body is human. I am doing my best. My body is doing its best. I am human. My body is human. I am doing my best. My body is doing its best. I bring love into my body. I forgive my body. I forgive my body for what it could not do, for what it could not give me. I forgive me. I forgive my body for what it cannot do, for what it cannot give me. I forgive me. I am able to like parts of my body. The parts I like are... What parts do you like? The other parts of my body are healing. I heal my. What parts of your body are healing? I bring love, kindness, and understanding into my body. I bring love, kindness, and understanding into my body. I forgive myself. I forgive me. I bring love, kindness, and understanding into my body. Allowing that energy of forgiveness to really move into you, letting go of the self-blame, letting go of the self-judgment, starting the process of letting go of the anger, all of those emotions which have been there in your body from things which have gone on. Starting to bring that understanding and kindness and forgiveness to your body, to your emotional self, to the whole of you. Feeling into that lightness that forgiveness gives. Forgiveness is that release of resentment and blame and anger. And with that lightness, with that forgiveness, with that love and kindness and understanding, I want you to start forming a ball of light around you. So you imagine yourself sitting or lying down, and you have this ball around you, ball of light. And within that ball of light is lightness, is forgiveness, is kindness, is compassion for yourself, is understanding. And all of that energy is around you in this ball of light. The ball of light is above you, below you, to your sides, front and back. You can make it really big if you want to, as big as the space you are in. Or if you want, closer to your body like a hug, having all of that energy really close. What color is your ball of light? And then we are going to ground. And we ground after meditation because during meditation, things come out, realizations, other emotions, insights. And it's important to ground so that you are here now. You're here now in this space, in our wonderful, healing, beautiful space here. So when you have your ball of light starting to ground, and grounding is moving your focus, your attention downwards. So down towards the ground, the physical earth. So moving that energy down the body, moving down to the feet, and you might even feel the energy moving down that flow. And then when you get to your feet, moving to the ground. Connecting with the earth. And it's up to you how deep you want to go. So sometimes staying at the earth is nice and grounding, and that's enough. And if it feels good and you want to imagine your energy moving into the earth and the different layers, then do that. But always being comfortable with what you do. You know what feels good for you. And grounding is also the connection to yourself, to you, to the center part of you. Grounding your energy. Being back here with us after the meditation and wherever you went during those affirmations. Starting to open your eyes as well. Being back here with yourself, with your breathing, with your thoughts, with your emotions. And I always recommend writing. I mean, I am a writer, and the writing which comes up after meditation can be very, very healing, can be very insightful. So if there's anything that you would like to write, then please do that. And you know that this meditation, all of the sessions in World Childless Week are recorded, so this will be up for you after this session for you to do again, for you to do however many times you would like to do it. So while you're all coming back, let me go into the chat, and if there are any questions, or if, take your time coming back. I'll talk for a bit, and then you can also say in chat how you're feeling if you want to, or you can simply be with your, with your energy. So there's a lot of around the menopause, which we did speak about with health issues. Yeah, so someone says, I'm trying so hard with health, but still having one issue after another. Yeah, that really is my journey, one thing after the other. And it's interesting because as we age, then I also feel that one issue after the other is also because the other things come in, the menopause, the aging aspects of the body and life. So the other things also come in. And if we have had other health in the past, that then impacts, doesn't it? Because it's not like, oh, I don't know, have I ever been 100% with my health? But, it's not like we're starting on a really good level then to have other things and just to be able to let them go. So, yeah, everything builds on other things. And another person, yeah, I'm starting to believe that holding back the emotions has played a big role. Yes, yes, it has. It has. And, knowing that and not bringing that blame into it. So it's like the affirmation where I said, I forgive myself for the way I treated my body, for the choices I made. So not blaming ourselves for that, but knowing that, you know what, I have felt things, my emotions, I have felt things, and that might have contributed to my physical health in some way. But you know what? It's okay. We can start working on ourselves at any time, start letting go. And, yes, something else might come up, but also don't don't let it stop you doing the work on yourself, because I know it can be really, really difficult to keep having to motivate yourself to do the work. I feel this too, like when I have another health thing and it's like, oh my goodness, another thing, and now I've got to get through this thing, and I've still got to do the things that I know are good for me. You have to really try to motivate yourself as best you can. But with all of that, being so gentle, being gentle on yourselves. I do a lot with gentleness. And one of the reasons I do that is because I really feel that we've had so much harshness in our lives. I mean, there's so much harshness anyway in the world. And with all of that, we have to be more gentle to ourselves because we've been through so much. So it's like really bringing in the gentleness. So bit by bit, step by step, no rush, no hurry, and be gentle. Thank you, everyone, for your comments. Yes, very powerful. I mean, I always find these affirmations very powerful. Forgiveness is always the hardest, always, always. And I actually changed I added a affirmation which is not on the sheet. So when I did, I forgive my body for what it could not do, for what it could not give me. I wanted to say cannot do, cannot give me, like after. So I added that in. I forgive my body for what it cannot do, for what it cannot give me, because honestly, we're always having, or we're always bringing in that love, kindness, forgiveness, understanding all the time, because yes, our bodies are always doing things. Okay, loves. Right. Still add the questions. I think if there are any questions, I can definitely answer them. But I want to thank you all so much for being here. I'm always so, so grateful when um, people people meditate and come to meditation, because also in meditation you're moving inwards, and that's not an easy place to go to and to move into. So like really celebrate yourselves for doing that, and I'm just giving you huge, huge hugs and kisses, and yeah, so much love to you all. Thank you.